Wrestle Reaction and Living the Gimmick fans. It is night 2 of the show that is too big for one night. It is your Wrestle Reaction and Living the Gimmick WrestleMania Night 2 review show. John Alba, Doug McDonald, that way, of Living the Gimmick. Frank Manzo, the godfather of Wrestle Reaction. And JT Pruitt, the jack of all trades, in the corner there. Joining you, coming to your ears, coming to your faces. It is another night of some high intensity, ruthless, aggressive Wrestle Reaction after WrestleMania. That was classy, JT. Very classy.
Hulk Hogan.
Of course, night 2 of the Wrestle Reaction review show, brought to you by none other than Barefoot Wine, the gold and best of class in the 2016 International Women's Wine Competition.
As you travel to WrestleMania.
A pour for all of you out there.
Doug, I rocked the Sour Patch tonight too, my friend.
I encourage you to, if you are indulging in some classy libations, a cheers to all of you for joining us tonight. And thank you.
Oh, straight from the bottle. I like it.
I'm gonna do the daddy thing.
like
I can say hi, Sophia, because I had that moment everybody has, like, that does any kind of performance ever in their life that we've all heard about with like Edge and Shawn Michaels and everybody. Like, so the baby and the wife actually watched the show last night, and I haven't done the show for a year, and she's only 19 months. So Maria had YouTube on the screen, and little Sophia's watching, and she goes, Dad, and she actually recognized me and heard my voice and everything. So I had that moment where the baby got to see me do work. So it's pretty cool.
Was that when you talked about Asian women, or before or after that?
All bad.
I'm gonna go ahead and get this question out of the way. Somebody already asked me what I was drinking on tonight. It is Mittens, which is a pineapple mango tropical sour from a great brewery right here in Atlanta called Reformation. If you ever get some, they make some good stuff. Some good.
We'll get there. I know I'm not sweating, by the way. I pulled the the mark of every true great performer and doused myself and got myself wet in the hair before we went on the air, just like they do before they go through the curtain.
I'm waiting on them to frost them tips, Gal.
The one thing I've never done ever. I've never ever touched my hair color ever, and I probably never will. I don't know. It's just yeah. Boys, we are here. It is the second night of WrestleMania. It's in the books. Another WrestleMania gone, finished. This was, in one word, unique. It is the most unique WrestleMania experience of our lives. I think probably until the day the four of us die, this may end up being the most unique WrestleMania of our lives, assuming the world goes back to normal sometime soon and we get back to the way we've been used to seeing these shows for the past 35 years before this. This was strange, and I don't think the second night flowed very well.
Doug McDonald, you've been quiet.
Tired. Should have put me to sleep.
So night 2, a failure in your mind?
So long. And it wasn't even that long. It was 20 minutes longer than last night. But
yeah,
dude, I can't do these 2-night like WrestleManias. I already know that they're gonna do this in the future, and I'm already at the place of why.
I want that to
and
be.
Why not put your better matches on night 2
already? I want that to be the last thing that we talk about as we kind of wrap all of this up, because I think that's what this all builds to, right? Should WrestleMania be 2 nights? And we've kind of seen some sort of litmus test in that sense. And plus, we saw what happened with New Japan this past year as well. Night 2, as you said, went about 20 minutes longer. So we're gonna get into this here. A quick reminder: if you like what you see, Wrestle Reaction, of course, supported by the Living the Gimmick podcast, which Doug O'Mac and I drop every single Tuesday. We have our Patreon, patreon.com/Living the Gimmick. You get video review shows and preview shows just like this for every single major pro wrestling pay-per-view. You get watch-alongs. We got the LTG Mania watch-along vote finishing up tomorrow. Go vote for that now. Gentlemen, it is like a 4-way tie for that. I can't wait to see which one comes out on top. And let's waste no more time. Let's get right into this. We had our kickoff match. Liv Morgan defeated Natalya. Frank, you were probably the only one of the four of us here paying close attention to this. What'd you make of it?
I was. I'm the one that commented on it.
Liv Morgan's booty.
That's why I'm being facetious.
Actually, the girls actually worked a pretty good match, and I think I think Doug was the other one watching it. Also, we made a couple of comments how we thought that Liv has improved, and Natalya just does not ever get the recognition that she should, and is a great worker. And she's never she's worked with all the girls that get all the credit, and had great matches with all of them, but she never gets the credit herself. It's like she was just a little too older and a little too further ahead of the curve than the Sashas and the Beckys and the Charlottes, and it's just and you see my man Doug up there nodding his head. He's with me. So listen, it was a good little kickoff match. It was what it was. Liv got the win. Doesn't probably mean anything, but two girls that I like out there warming it up for us.
I mean, Lord, being your fluffer for WrestleMania.
Yeah. I didn't say it. You did. Jesus Christ, a warm-up match. My God.
I thought for sure, this is going to be a train wreck, but it wasn't. These girls worked really hard. Liv is improving at a rapid rate.
Yeah.
Just like Lacey Evans is. Both of them are improving really, really fast in the ring. And it takes reps. You just got to keep doing it.
And not only has Liv done better, but I legitimately think that is the most beautiful, naturally beautiful girl on the WWE roster right now.
Well, everybody else has their faces up with plastic. But but listen, the Natalya.
Hey,
what I was talking about with Natalya, she was the first amazing worker to come into the end of the Diva era. And the issue was Vince saw nothing, obviously to him, she's not a diva, like hot girl to push on TV. So she got that, she's been there for how many years now? Jeez, Louise, 14.
Well, I mean, she was baggage for like the Hart Dynasty for so long. I think that's what created the problem.
She's been there since 2007, 2008. Like, so to think about how long she's been there, and she got on their radar in 2006, like she has been consistently good, and she has taught all these people. I mean, she's the one that trained Ronda. She's the one that helped train Charlotte and all them as they got better and better. So to me, she's a Hall of Famer already, but she will never get a WrestleMania win, like where she gets a singles win and is pyro and ballyhoo and all that kind of stuff. She did. That's not on her. She didn't ask to have that gimmick.
No, it's not.
It's how Vince has viewed her, and it sucks because she is like the grandmama of this women's evolution, whatever the hell you want to call it, and she's never going to get the recognition of it until she's probably dead. That's how WWE works.
JT Pruitt, you look laser locked in right now. Please tell us your move by move analysis of Liv Morgan and Natalya.
Didn't watch it, so
that's what I thought. No, look, I totally agree with you guys. Liv Morgan has an it factor. It's just a matter of bringing it out and accentuating those things, and I do think she's working towards that. Perfect person to throw in there with Natty. And yeah, they went out there. They had a little 6-minute and 25-second opening kickoff match, which was almost a full 2 minutes longer than our main event tonight. So take that for what it is worth. Which brought us to our real opener, Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. In 20 minutes and 30 seconds, Charlotte Flair defeats Rhea Ripley to win the NXT Championship. And a good comment there from Sean. He says Natty will be the new. So some interesting stuff there. This match. First off, Wayne, if you missed the start of the show, we're on brand here. Okay. Guys, I thought this match was a hell of a match. I think this might have been my favorite match on all of WrestleMania. And a split audience reaction to this finish. What do we think?
Finish was what it was.
Wrong winner.
Yeah, definitely the wrong winner. Great match. I was hooked from start to finish, till the finish. And then I was just kind of like, okay, that's cool. I get why they did it. We really don't know what's going on.
You do?
Yeah, I do. It's a bigger shock factor to do it with Charlotte than Rhea.
Because Vince can't help himself.
Frank.
I think about the future of where this goes. Does Charlotte go full time to NXT now? You know what I mean? Like, what do we do with this? And also, the match itself, bell to bell, was very good. Two great performers. Sky's the limit for Rhea Ripley. Charlotte, we know, is amazing. And listen, you can say anything you want about the finish. You can say anything you want about the things I'm going to discuss in the next 2 minutes. But the bottom line is that Charlotte, in a bubble, just talking about bell to bell performance, is great. She's one of the best ever. Yeah. She's one of the best women to ever do this. There's no question about that. But, and now I'm going to say I have to bring it out because it's been 2 instances. They had 2 chances at WrestleMania for Charlotte to put other women over in a huge way, and they didn't tonight, and they didn't at WrestleMania 34 either for Asuka. And that is a huge problem to me that it happened twice. And you're getting the Roman Reigns effect now for Charlotte. People were complaining about Charlotte a year ago. People were complaining about Charlotte's booking a hell of a lot more 6 months ago. People were pissed about Charlotte's booking when she won the Rumble. I had people texting me tonight literally saying, I am effing done. How could they do that finish? But people are flipping over it. And the match was great, and it would have gotten amazing back and forth reaction in that stadium, no question. I'm curious to what you all think after I finish speaking about whether or not that would have been an opener of the show if it was one night in there. That's an interesting topic, but this to me had the wrong winner again, the same way I felt at Mania 34. And obviously, we know Asuka never did anything great after that. And don't even tell me, oh well, she was champion again for what? To lose it right again before the triple threat last year? I mean, it's a joke. So there was 2 times where on the biggest stage they could have made other stars, and in the Attitude Era and the Golden Era of WWE, when you had big stars all at the top together, they all were put over by other big stars to get them to that dance. There was a point where we had 5 guys on the Souvenir Cup that all were equal stars and just household names, and Foley was like the 3rd of Austin and Rock out of all of them, and he's doing national commercials for Chef Boyardee and everything else. I mean, think about where we've come from. Now you don't want to bring other people up to that level, so you have superstardom for everybody to face each other. It's just ludicrous to me. I don't get it. And then we had the conversation in the chat earlier that you guys can go with right now. Does this mean Vince doesn't want to launch Rhea Ripley? Has he given up on her? I don't think that, but I think this creates a problem. This creates the Strowman problem. Look at the road that he went down, and we know he only became champion because he beat COVID-19 last night. So, guys, this was the wrong decision, especially since Ripley walked in as the NXT champion. This was a big moment for that brand, for that champion, but to have a title match at WrestleMania. This went the wrong way.
But you just said it. It was a big moment for the brand. Let's think about the 2 women that came up and wrestled on WrestleMania from that brand. It boils down to that brand. It's not considered equal, and it never will be in Vince's eyes. Period.
Okay, so my antithesis to that is look how strongly NXT has been pushed in the last 7 months on WWE main roster program. And don't roll your eyes at me. I saw you roll your eyes at me.
And it's also the only night in the week that have
Survivor Series ended. Keith Lee had that massive spot. The NXT women got the clean wins. Keep in mind, Rhea Ripley was given a huge opportunity to shine at Survivor Series in that massive spot where she was the one left standing over the rest of all the WWE.
Survivor Series is not WrestleMania.
But
Survivor Series is not WrestleMania.
A major pay-per-view. Now, this WrestleMania, listen.
But it's not. It's not equal to WrestleMania. It never will be.
I'm booking this. Rhea Ripley wins this match. Okay.
We all are in agreement with that.
We all agree with that. But I'm also not going to sit here and say that this is the exact equivalent of Asuka either, because Asuka had the undefeated streak coming in, which was a 500-day plus streak that they built coming into this. Asuka not winning in that spot was way more of a travesty than this with Rhea Ripley. They pushed this entire match that Rhea Ripley needs to separate herself from Charlotte and that she's young. So now with this loss, they have this opportunity to tell this story where she learned to continue to best and best till one day she does beat the very best that they have to offer. It's a story you can tell. Now, if you don't follow up on that story, then yes, this is a massive missed opportunity. But I can't immediately get down on this just because of that. Even though I do agree, Rhea should have won. I can't immediately get down on it because of that. Plus, this isn't a normal WrestleMania. If this happened in front of 70,000 people, maybe that would be a little more of an influence factor.
Say whatever you want to say to make that scenario feel better, but that's not the it is. That's BS thrown out there so that this can feel better. The fact of the matter is, yes, it is. The fact of the matter is, yes, you brought Rhea Ripley up at Survivor Series and showcased a brand new star for a main audience that half have never seen her do anything ever, because half those people do not watch NXT, did not watch Mae Young Classic. That's the truth. And
apparently
what happened?
Apparently, a lot of people are not watching NXT Weekly.
What? Oh, they're not. The 500,000 are right now.
Right.
There was this brand new audience for Rhea Ripley, and guess what? She was made a household name that weekend with everything that she did. What did we say on our freaking podcast? Oh, well, they got to pull the trigger. She's got to win the title, and you got to just skyrocket her to the moon. Royal Rumble. She needs to be facing someone after that. And then we got, okay, it's going to be Charlotte. It's going to be at WrestleMania. They're going to make this girl and solidify the fact that she is now a bona fide superstar. You were proposing that this is a Dark Knight Rises scenario where Batman gets beaten by Bane and then he has to come back and defeat Bane. Guess what? Batman was already established for freaking years before he got beaten down by Bane. Don't interrupt me, John. I see you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. I'm not done.
Where do you go? Go ahead.
Batman was established. Rhea Ripley's not. She had one showing on a Survivor Series. And just like you could have made her a bigger star by having her go over Charlotte, Roman Reigns, if you will, to the fans who are having an issue with all of this, you didn't do it. It doesn't matter if it's in front of an empty arena. It doesn't matter because guess what? The same people that are going to be sitting there watching WrestleMania this weekend are the same people that are going to sit there and watch it if there were people in the crowd. And the fact of the matter is you didn't pull the trigger when you needed to. And guess what? You didn't do it with Shayna Baszler either. And both of these NXT girls that lost this weekend on WrestleMania look like a bunch of chumps coming up on the main roster because you didn't pull the trigger on them like you should have. Shayna Baszler, ridiculous. They build her up in this elimination chamber. Blah, blah, blah. She's awesome. Blah, blah, blah. Becky just beats her with the Bret Hart finish. And yes, that means that feud's going to continue. But you can't sit here and say that they're not missing opportunities and that this isn't just as bad as Asuka coming up and losing, because this is like, you could say Asuka's worse.
This is worse.
You can say Asuka's worse, but I can't.
A whole brand that now competes weekly. Like this
is the thing. She was the top girl in NXT, and she got defeated by Charlotte, and now NXT looks like a joke.
But Rhea Ripley
that was my point.
Rhea Ripley can still be a special talent, whereas Asuka, the moment
you literally buried NXT.
The moment Asuka lost, she lost the main thing that made her special,
but not the brand of NXT. You're not listening, John.
That night, they had a shot to do fine by her, even with that loss, and then they effed that up. And we all know it could go down that road with Rhea Ripley.
Also, Shinsuke Nakamura also happened.
Right now, we're in a 3-brand environment where the only night these people have competition in professional wrestling is Wednesday night. And you just had your title make its debut the only time ever that there's been an NXT championship on a WrestleMania show. Okay. And by the way,
both those guys
it was your belt and you lost that belt. It's not even like she went in there as a challenger and lost. So it just worse. So much worse than 34.
I want to be clear here. I am not saying that Charlotte should have won this match. We are all in agreement here that Rhea Ripley should have won this match.
Correct.
But you're saying that you're not going to sit here and call a spade, that this was the wrong call.
I don't think this is as doomsday scenario as everyone seems to think that
blinders.
They can
listen. I don't think she's dead, but I have a problem with it for the brand. I have a problem with it for the brand. That's what I'm saying. She'll be
more important than Rhea. You literally buried the brand. I mean, it's ridiculous. And so Charlotte, who doesn't need to win an NXT Women's Championship.
Is it burying the brand if you're putting your very top competitor in that division to go out there and have matches with the rest of your women in that brand, which I think we can all agree the NXT women's division is the best women's division in all of
How many NXT title defenses did Rhea Ripley have?
She had one.
At the Rumble, right? One NXT TakeOver?
No, afterwards.
No, did she defend it at the Rumble weekend? No, right?
She won December. It was World Collide.
And then she defended it against Toni Storm at Worlds Collide. So that was her biggest defense.
So, look, I'm not sitting here telling you Rhea Ripley didn't get the short end of the stick. She certainly did. Okay. I'm willing to see this out, and I'm giving them the chance here to go out and tell a great story, and to have Rhea Ripley be the one to conquer Charlotte at the end of this. And if they don't follow through on that, then yeah, I mean, it's another example.
Just answer me this question. Just answer me this question. In the last, let's just say 10 years, in the last 10 years of watching Vince McMahon book stuff, what has given you no, what has given you the benefit of the doubt to trust that he's going to do something good?
While I don't disagree with that, Vince McMahon,
this is a yes or no question.
Vince McMahon's not the one booking that brand, so this is a Triple H book storyline here. Triple H.
Okay, so Charlotte can go back and lose her title to Rhea on Wednesday night, and that's going to matter to the main event roster people that were watching WrestleMania.
It's not this Wednesday night, but if the idea of putting in Charlotte in NXT is to give a little boost to build these women's programs, I know you're all going to say Charlotte's not drawing eyes to NXT.
Not
whatever that may be.
No, I don't listen. I don't have credible
to have NXT having matches with those women, and then you go back and you have that match with Rhea where Rhea conquers her, and there is conduciveness to that. That is long-term storytelling. I don't disagree with anything you guys are saying, but I'm also not labeling this doomsday. That's the end of the NXT brand. That's the end of Rhea Ripley, and that's the end of that.
I don't think it's the end of Rhea Ripley. Okay, but
it's
I think everybody here
but why the hell would you do this?
I think everybody here is going to agree with me.
How does this benefit anyone, though? That's
you can put Charlotte on NXT and help the brand. That's great. They also did it with Finn Balor, and he didn't make anybody look stupid at WrestleMania weekend. The bottom line is that we just came out of 24 hours of WrestleMania that everybody will always remember, even if they don't rewatch it because it was BS in the Performance Center. But the bottom line is that you had two women come up from NXT, and both of them lost to main roster girls, and one of them took their goddamn belt from the brand that they weren't even on. And it just made them look bad.
It doesn't help anybody.
They needed a big step up moment. And if you wanted to throw Charlotte down there to mix with all of them and make everybody look better and teach the young girls something and to elevate everybody else, shit, I am so on board with that it's cool. But this was not the right move
to me
for a brand that is struggling right now.
Yup.
To me, it's even more egregious about Shayna losing to Becky yesterday. And
I think it's both.
No
I think here's the thing.
Worse.
It's not more egregious, but it's both a terrible choice by Vince McMahon.
This is so much worse because the NXT
I agree, Frank.
came up the NXT star at Mania.
I agree.
Shayna was the star that you could have made that night, and she was staying on your main roster for the future going forward.
They're both bad.
They're both bad.
No.
But the NXT champion coming
up
and losing.
If you would have told us, put money down that both of the NXT girls lose on Friday. I would have
lost a lot of money.
Thank you, because it's not effing logical in anybody's book.
It's hashtag WWE logic, and it's happened with Shinsuke Nakamura. It's happened with Asuka. Now it's happened with Shayna. Now it's happened with Rhea.
JT, anything else you want to add on this?
Nope. Get me to the.
Hey,
Rumble.
Where's Bobby Roode?
Yeah,
Bobby Roode. Does he still work for the company?
Robert Roode. Robbie Roode.
Oh yeah, Robert.
Bob Roode.
Where's Rusev?
Bob Roode.
Well,
where's Tyler Breeze?
One guy he's on 205 Live. One guy from
adult films for cuckolds.
One guy from NXT who did get a win on this card was Aleister Black, and he beat Bob Lashley in 7 minutes and 20 seconds. On this, I thought this match was way better than it had any business being, with pretty much no build at all. Aleister Black, so freaking great. And I was thinking, Frank, a year ago, you and I were at MetLife Stadium watching an awesome tag team in Aleister Black and Ricochet. And I remember turning to Jordan Katz that night and saying, man, if even one of these guys are still on the WrestleMania card next year, we'll be lucky. And it was Aleister Black. Right. So it was Aleister Black.
And it was in a throwaway. So, yeah.
But he looked good in this. He really did in the black mask.
Props to Bobby Lashley for even making the card, because he has done nothing of significance.
He's big.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he wore pants.
Meaty.
Doug, anything you want to say about Lana here?
Lana.
Brown hair, don't care.
She's still good looking, but yeah, she's definitely a blonde.
She's done.
Nope. Too much work.
Aleister Black.
I agree. Too much work.
Black was a member of the Viking Experience Extravaganza Warriors Kabuki Ivar on this show. Anything you guys want to add on this match?
Look, I think you hit it on the head. It was way better than it should have been, but I mean, that's a Monday Night Raw match.
Dude,
What are we talking about? Bobby Lashley still?
Sunday Night Heat.
I mean, Frank, you would know the answer. I'm pretty sure this is the first time that Bob Lashley wrestled in tights, right?
I've never seen him in tights before.
Yeah. So, okay.
Cool.
The emotional high of this show: Otis and Dolph Ziggler.
Tucker!
Heart emoji.
Sound good. Heart emoji. Mandy. Tucker!
Otis is the man. Otis is so great. This match was pretty much every WWE heat-seeking match that you could imagine. But
by the way, I have to give a shout out to Michael Cole for referencing the Ultimate Warrior and then saying "floating through the veins" 5 seconds later. That was great throwback. Great veins. White nipples. That's all I have to say.
sounds like we got an idea for the podcast. There,
Otis.
Otis.
But so this match. So I had a real LOL moment here on this match. So Sonya Deville gets up on the apron to distract. Dolph Ziggler hits Otis with the low blow. Michael Cole screams. Keep in mind, empty arena here. Michael Cole screams, "The referee is distracted and misses the low blow." The referee is like 10 feet away from him. I'm like, wouldn't the referee just turn around and be like, "Oh, wait a minute"?
How many? Yeah, but did you not hear when they did replays? You could hear Michael Cole screaming in the background of the replays.
I mean, of course.
So stupid.
You're gonna. Bailey wins the golf clap of the night for
yelling at him. Yes,
yelling at him. It was great. But so that popped me. And then Mandy Rose comes out, babyface turn, beats up Sonya Deville, low blows Dolph Ziggler.
Did she look delicious tonight or what? Oof. Enough to make a grown man cry. Damn.
Make it purr like a walrus.
Mandy.
I have a date on Valentine's Day with Mandy.
I have a suspicion that spanking her butt or touch her bib sounds like this.
Well, Otis got to hold her after he gets the win. He was very sweaty.
They hugged at first, and she got off of him, and she wiped her arm, trying not to look grossed out. Like, he was so sweaty, and she grabbed it, and she looked at him, she smiled, she was like,
I think it was the first or second week they were interacting backstage on SmackDown, and he came back from a match, and he literally ruined the entire half of her dress with his sweat. It was disgusting.
His Otis gravy. He sweats gravy. You know he does. Turkey gravy from Thanksgiving. You know that's what's pouring out of his pores.
Turkey.
Give me some dressing, Mandy. I'll give you some gravy.
They did not socially distance. They held each other. And,
I'm gonna smooch you, baby.
And then they smooched. And this was the one part of the show that I was just like, man, you know what? If this were in front of 65,000 people, this would have been
huge. Huge.
But yes, Dolph Ziggler's first singles match at WrestleMania.
Find your peanuts for a dollar.
By the way, good little match, and I love watching both of these guys work because they're awesome. They're just entertaining. Dolph's a great hand, and Otis. Let me tell you something. Otis attracts people to watch.
Dude, I love Otis.
He's great.
Back scratcher.
Back scratch up.
Yeah, and yes, Chris Muller says Mandy no sold that kiss. She had, you're not wrong.
It was a dry peck.
Look, I mean, I wouldn't want to be kissing someone I've never kissed before during a coronavirus pandemic. That's probably.
I don't think the coronavirus had anything to do with that reaction.
I'm just saying.
I don't think Bad News Burke says that Blue Chew's involved. I don't think Otis is going to need it.
No way.
Oh, yeah, I got gravy.
Oh boy.
All
right. I need some giblets for my gravy.
Peter North in our chat room. Oh my lord.
What?
Okay.
Oh man. I just had a flashback to the Spice Channel in 1998.
This is the comment right here. This is
100% Farley all the way.
He's got the Farley, the Adam Sandler. Yes, no doubt. So we're not going to spend 36 minutes and 30 seconds talking about Randy Orton. That's how long this match went. Super. We didn't even talk about that. The women's tennis that you heard during Rhea Ripley.
Ladies and gentlemen, 36, where we heard every single competitor's finishing noise in the business. That's
All their
Vinegar strokes.
All their vinegar strokes.
Baby Jeffrey, forever
You
unclean.
can see into their souls. Pete top, Kevin bottom.
Why do you do this to me?
Forever unclean.
Forever
This was like this was adult film outtakes at its best. The whole come on, dude, and you can't help it. There's no crowd. You're getting all of it, But guys,
I gotta say though, Frank, it was very, very effective in the opening match of the night. I thought Charlotte working over Rhea's leg and getting those reactions. I thought that was really good. I thought that was really good, but you're right. It was distracting the rest of the night.
some people made it work for them. Like we talked about this last night, how Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins really made it work for them. And then obviously AJ and Undertaker took that to a whole new level because it was shot that way. Listen, I think we all watched the WWE 24 on Edge. Did we all get to see it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic, by the way.
Absolutely.
If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's about an hour and 15 minutes. I cried multiple times. Not afraid to say it. Just friggin' amazing. I love Edge. You will pretty much never hear anybody say a bad word about the guy. I friggin' love the guy. Made me realize, like, damn, I've met a lot of wrestlers. I've never met Edge. I would really love to meet Edge. He is just great. It was just so amazing to see that road back and that Rumble moment, man. Oh my God, that Rumble moment is amazing. And then now we get to this, and all of us said last night, man, he's on the top of our list for people we feel bad for in this situation right now because he did not get to come back to that big arena. My God, we did not get Alter Bridge playing him live to the ring. And here we are, and it's in the PC. And look, I'm going to say this right now. Randy Orton is one of the best people to ever step in a ring. Edge is one of the best people to ever step in WWE ring. They are amazing. Nothing they did was bad at all, okay? And I got to tell you, some of the stuff they did, which we've seen time and time again with Edge, Cena calls him Einstein, for God's sake, it was very creative. I mean, tell me Edge didn't lay out that opening where Orton was the cameraman and hit him out of nowhere. Like, they did so many sequences where I thought it was entertaining. Edge climbing the fencing and dropping the elbow to the conference table. There was just so much stuff in there that was innovative and unique, and it was good, but Frank Manzo hates last man standing matches. Just absolutely can't stand them. I think it just sucks. It kills the pace. And this just went so goddamn long. It's not something I'll ever watch again, to be honest with you.
I'll tell you what wasn't unique and should have been cut and should have never made air.
Here we go.
How in this day and age,
I know.
especially, we just came off of a 2-part series on Vice talking about the Chris Benoit tragedies.
Which they shot this pretty much the same night that was airing, by the way, around there.
How do you even air that?
You're referring to the spot where Edge
Yes.
hung up.
I didn't even want to say it because, like, how do you even air that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
It was bad. There's nothing wrong with this match, but it was so long.
yeah.
It was 36 minutes, and the emotion at the end, fantastic. The poetic finish, fantastic.
Great.
Edge was amazing at the end.
Finish
He was great.
incredible.
He was
I
great.
have nothing bad to say about this match,
Both guys were good.
but I was so
Bored.
spent at the end of this thing because it was so long that I could not recover for the rest of the show.
I never
was
needed.
so
I
tired
never need
for
a
the rest of the
PC.
show.
I never need a PC tour ever.
And they did what
No,
I wanted.
never.
Like they did what I wanted. I wanted them to go into every room of this performance center and use
Yep.
every single thing that they possibly could to have this match.
You guys literally laid out the match exactly how
I
it was.
did. Like, this is how I expected it to go down. It was just so long and so grunty and so just drawn out.
And can we talk about how quiet and lackadaisical the
Oh my
commentary was?
God, the commentary was awful.
Edge looks like he's getting upset.
At one point, I thought I was watching golf.
Hey Andrew, did you watch WrestleMania? Did you listen to the audio of WrestleMania? Boners.
Just wait.
Butt stuff.
Frank, you got to watch Big Mouth. You got to watch.
Andrew,
Tough.
did you see
You're gonna-
WrestleMania?
See, Nate in our chat room is saying he was live at Triple H and HBK's Hell in a Cell match in 04, and he gets what people say it's too long. I'm going to tell you, that match is 47 minutes, and I stay into that the whole time.
Yeah,
every time
I don't
watch that.
I don't find
That's
that one
not a
too long either.
problem for me. This was something completely different.
And I think
you have the constant long counts and recoveries because
the
of last man standing.
the counts make the match feel like it goes a lot longer.
This could have been false count anywhere, and it could have been a lot better.
Bingo.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. And I gotta give so much credit to Edge, who, say what you want, man, those years away doing acting like took him to another level.
He was
And
great.
from promo this past week to how things worked out in this match, he was great. This match got a lot of polarizing reaction on social media. I'm kind of in agreement with all you. It was just too long, but they worked super hard, told a good story. It was emotional. It's just
Too long.
Can that be overlooked by
Nope.
a long match? I don't know.
Nope.
I don't know.
Not especially in that environment, right? Like,
I do want to talk about the 24 real quick here. I thought
yeah.
it was the best WWE produced documentary
Period.
of all time.
Period.
I think the Undertaker is gonna. I think the Undertaker's last ride's gonna
Maybe
give
that
it a run
hasn't
for its
aired yet.
money.
I mean, it's
And
airing right
I
now.
saw the first. Well, I saw the first look. It's not. The whole thing's not out yet. They just gave you a teaser of what it's gonna be. And when you watch that, it's like, holy crap! Okay, I'm down. I'm down for this. But it was fantastic all the way from the start to finish. When he's done with the Rumble and the first opening riff of Walk by Foo Fighters came on, I got
So great.
such goosebumps, and I was.
By the way, he used that for his Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought so.
It was the most transparently accurate WWE documentary I've ever seen. I mean,
They did not pull punches. They did not rewrite history. No.
Yeah. So I really appreciated that. And
Talked about Sonos.
did talk about Sonos.
Gave Sonos a shout out. Dash Wilder got a little bit of a nod there.
Got a rub.
A farewell.
A farewell. Yeah, he'll get royalty check off of this for 5 seconds.
But I really thought it was outstanding. And
I loved it. I thought it was great.
the vibe I got from the Undertaker thing is that that's going to be like their Michael Jordan 30 for 30 kind of thing. Where they're going all in and trying to do that.
I mean, just from the opening part where you see the jet getting pulled into the runway and it says 3 days before WrestleMania in 2017, Orlando, where he thought he was going to be retiring. He literally called Vince and said, I want to document everything. From here until I'm done, document everything.
Which is funny because when I was with Undertaker the morning of WrestleMania that day, there were no cameras to be found. It was him alone. Unless I was getting secretly shot. I don't know. I might be in the series. And
I mean, you literally stood there in the lobby and talked to the guy.
We talked for about 10 minutes in the lobby. So I'm curious to see. Maybe
I dropped you off. I get a text message 20 minutes later. I just hung out with the Undertaker.
It's just funny that all of this is going on right now. And I'm not suggesting that I think his retirement would be at Survivor Series because I think it's lackluster with how they book Survivor Series these days. But this is going to be 30 years coming up in November. It's going to be the exact 30 years. So it's just interesting to see all of this happening right now. It's kind of funny.
would be the perfect way to bring it full circle, close it out.
Well, not there. God, no, not there. That event's been atrocious.
Yeah, but if you build it all around him, Frank, if the show,
I still want to see him go out in Mania. I don't care. I mean,
he was WrestleMania for so long. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. You have the streak also. Like, yes, the Survivor Series debut is important, but the Mania streak is the Mania streak.
Ed, I would love to get my network royalties, but I'm still waiting on my gift card. we will see.
Chucky!
We'll see what comes. We had the Street Profits defeat Angel Garza and Austin Theory. This wasn't really much of a match. It was more. It was more built around the post-match angle.
If you took a shot every time someone said WrestleMania in this match, you are now recovering from alcohol poisoning in the hospital.
No, you're dead.
That's your boy, Mom Ford, taking care of that. But the angle after this was Bianca Belair making what very well may be her main roster debut and clearing house. And
JT and I think she's great.
Cool.
Stop.
So spotty for me. So spotty. I've seen her be great. I've seen her be very good, and then I've seen her be bad. It's just,
I think she's a good worker.
I think she's strong as hell. We know that.
I hate the gimmick. I think it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
What's disgusting about it? That's like
There you go.
that's like a volatile word.
Are you kidding me?
You're
What's
disgusting, John.
You can dislike
He's disgusted by like the hair.
It's the hair. It's gross.
It's also illegal because it's a
disgusting.
foreign object, but that's here nor there.
disgusting from you.
Yeah, sucks.
I thought it was kind of cool to see Montez Ford like legitimately like in awe of his wife.
Right, but they didn't acknowledge that they're married.
They didn't even acknowledge that.
No,
Exactly.
they did not acknowledge it. No, they did not, John.
You can go back. I swear, Tom Phillips said that is Montez Ford's wife. I swear,
I was not. I will quit
living the gimmick. I will quit living the gimmick if he did not say that. That is how confident I am that he said it.
I need a vote in the chat room.
All the people in the chat room.
I didn't hear it either.
I will quit living the gimmick now. You can take all the patron money next month and put it in here if he did. See?
I'm pulling it up right now.
I am too.
Doug, our chat room is saying by large vote that they did.
I never heard it, and Beth and I
didn't
both
hear
were
it either.
listening
I
to
was
it.
listening for it. I did not hear that either. Maybe because they're doing effing golf commentary and barely speaking up. So maybe.
Anyway, while Doug looks for that.
I was too busy texting Mandy.
Yeah, but
Mandy.
at the 2 hour and 43-minute mark, Montez Ford dropped to his knees. You could see CM Punk in the corner at that moment in time, and I believe it was at that moment that Tom Phillips mentioned.
Go ahead, you know, while we're killing some time, Frank. Go ahead. You've got some stuff to say about mutants. I'm sure. Go ahead. This is your
Mandy.
Oh, mutants? I mean, I went to Fan Access one time and I'll never go back again. I mean, it was just, come on, it was a joke, dude. I went back. The only time I ever went back after that was with Doug and Brian when we were shooting interviews because that was awesome. But listen, I love wrestling fans when they could just act like freaking civilians and decent human beings in this world. And, you know, thank God that. I mean, look, we have a pandemic in this country, and almost 70,000 people that don't shower put together at WrestleMania would have spread this shit like it was the movie Outbreak. Okay, so
Jesus Christ, that's mighty.
I'm sorry. Listen, I don't make this stuff up. My poor wife, okay, who we all know is very classy, had to sit next to some mutant from the UK who didn't even, his teeth looked like Austin Powers from the first movie, and the stench coming off his retro t-shirt was just too much to bear. So you all better be goddamn showering right now. I don't come in this house without showering after what's going on out there.
2 hours and 16 seconds, he absolutely said. Coming to the aid of her husband, Montez Ford. I have it on closed captions.
You found it.
Yeah, he says it. He
There
says,
you go.
but here's how it sounds when he says it. This is why you can't. This is why you couldn't hear it. You have to watch it with subtitles because he literally goes,
I heard it.
Bill Uncle Bill Hart coming to the end of the road with Montez Ford. It's all one unaudible sentence.
Okay.
All Montez Ford.
So.
Yeah, but they couldn't have actually highlighted it and like made you actually hear it instead of one little line.
Guys, Gronk is the new 24/7.
Coming to the aid of her, Montez Ford.
Stop,
Man,
Gronk does not give a crap about social distancing. Gronk doesn't care about social distancing at all. He does a bonsai backwards drop of doom off the little stage setup.
Garbage.
And my boy AJ Francis was out there. That's what I pop for. He's the new 24/7 champion.
There was a girl out there too. Did anybody catch who that was?
Mandy.
I did see a girl out there. I did not see that. It was not Mandy. It was not Mandy. But
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to this.
This was
Let's just move
I
on.
just don't know who it was.
this was a giant middle finger to Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Well, I mean,
And
Donald Trump had a phone conversation with Vince McMahon today, so I don't.
it was
Who knows what he knew?
it was something. Bailey defeated Lacey Evans, Naomi, Sasha Banks, and Tamina.
Ugh, again, snore.
Ugh, skip it.
19 minutes and 20 seconds.
Way too long.
It was
About 15
Frank, you
minutes
like
too
this
long.
who are you talking to?
Frank, you like this match?
I thought you said Doug. Okay. Listen, it was definitely too long. It definitely dragged. It certainly didn't drag to 36 minutes like something else we spoke about. I'm just saying I went into this with no expectations, wasn't on my radar at all. And out of what we saw tonight that I had problems with, I sat back and I was actually into it, and I thought the girls worked hard, and it kept my interest. I thought it was a good match. It's not anything I'm going to run back to watch, but I thought everybody in there worked hard, and Bailey left as champion. I thought it was going to be. I thought it was good. All right, it should have been 15, 16 minutes and gotten home quicker, but. Again, I know you guys have some problems with the finish. Finish wasn't great, but overall, I thought a lot of the sequences that listen. Usually, when you get 5, 6 women out there and they start trying to do sequences like that, okay, it doesn't always work out great. And I thought they pulled off a lot of cool stuff. So I thought this was a good match.
Yeah,
Nah.
I mean, okay.
Lacey
John,
match.
hang on. I already said Lacey Evans has got much better. She was the most solid chick in this match. Everybody else had slop. Let's talk about this whole. John, you and I have been complaining about this on both WWE and AEW when this happens. This is not just a WWE problem. Since when is it okay for 4 people to pin one person? What in the blue hell? When did that become a rule that is okay? For 4 people to pin.
They've been doing that for years.
I know, and we talked about how much we hate it every single time. They did that in this match. Tamina taking the Nia Jax run of the money here in this match, and I mean, think about. I mean, Tamina coming out here, ding dang, walla bang bang. This was. Spot. Let's see if we can get these spots right. There's no telling how many cuts that they had to make in this match as far as get things.
I can't believe they didn't cut time on it.
But yet there was still so Sasha gets hit by Bailey inadvertently, gets pissed, then gets eliminated by an awesome right hand.
Right.
Fantastic right hand. And is out for freaking 6 minutes and then comes back in to interrupt the finish.
No selling. Yeah.
What?
This
finish makes no sense.
I like the story being told with Sasha and Bailey throughout this match.
Yeah.
I don't know why Sasha helped Bailey unless the only reason is Sasha secretly wants the title, and that's what it boils down to. Which might be the story, and that's that. But JT, you look like you have a lot to add.
No. Truth be told, I was cleaning when this happened, and this was all Carol Baskin's fault. All of it.
Jeez.
I'll never financially recover from this.
Okay.
Guess what, motherfucker?
Okay.
I'll shoot you right between the eyes.
He would put his balls right in my face.
If anybody knows that boy, it's like golden nuggets to him. Here, kitty.
Hey there, all you cool cats and kittens.
Yeah, how did we not start one of these shows with that?
Anyway. Well, this all got us.
All right, let's get to it because this is great.
Whatever the hell this was, I don't know what it was, but it was something.
I also don't know if I loved it or if I hated it. I have no clue. I was entertained by it.
This was
I was highly entertained.
I didn't like it as much as I liked the boner match from the night before.
This was the Firefly.
Is boner one of them, but boner.
Hashtag boner match.
Hashtag Mandy.
Jesus.
I love it. Ducky.
I loved this. I loved this train wreck of whatever we watched. It was like watching it was like watching like you're on acid the whole time. It was fantastic.
It was better than whatever a John Cena Bray Wyatt one-on-one singles match probably would have.
Absolutely right.
That you could say that about both Taker and AJ and Cena and Wyatt. It's obvious that they went and filmed at the warehouse.
They did.
They had the SmackDown fist. They had the big blue cage in the Saturday Night Main Event. They had the pieces from the Nitro stage. Bray Wyatt counted a pin for himself. So yes, there was a visual pinfall, but how does one report the result for this match in an actual result.
Can you
listing.
actually time this match? That's all.
No,
Timed at 13 minutes.
well, the segment was 13 minutes. This is not a match, though.
Right.
Is it the moment that it starts, or is it the moment that Cena went into the door away from the funhouse? That's what I want.
I don't know.
Johnny Large meet.
But it was 13 minutes clocked in at. Bray Wyatt, guys.
You can look, but you can't touch.
Good. Bray Wyatt is a generational talent and is one of the smartest, most creative people to have ever worked in professional wrestling.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Whoa. We had a conversation last night about the Undertaker not being able to speak up to creative about what was going on. Wait a second. We're gonna give credit to this to Bray. He came up with this.
Yeah.
Who came up with this idea?
Bray.
This is all Bray.
I think Bray Wyatt's hands are all over this.
Oh, he's in it, but come on. You can't tell me that so many other people weren't involved in this that have to do with creative and everything else.
I'm not saying that, but I think Bray Wyatt has the one thing Bray has done with this character has been, I mean, he came up with all of this and he has made sure that all of these elements of the character have been consistent throughout. The problems with this Fiend character have been all the booking of the matches and
red
the
light
situations that they put.
70% of the problems have been the red light, and the other 30% is Goldberg. Let's be honest, okay?
Right. So these all seemed like ideas that, and I'm sure John Cena had something to do with this too.
John Cena had huge input here.
Ed, this was not Jeremy Borash. No, this was not Jeremy Borash. This was not what we saw in the Boner match. That was Jeremy Borash. This was not Jeremy Borash. This was a completely different. This was Bruce Pritchard producing.
Oh, yeah.
Had to have been.
Oh, yeah.
This had Bruce Pritchard fingerprints all over it.
Yeah. Well, I think Bray Wyatt is just such a generational talent, and whatever this thing was, I really enjoyed it and thought it was great.
Super entertaining from start to finish.
Yeah.
I mean, I was captivated. The first 10 minutes, I was like, what the hell?
What am I watching?
Or the first 5 minutes, at least, I was like, what in the actual F are we watching? Like, why is this on my television screen? Then it got progressively more entertaining. And then by the end, I was just like, I have no idea whether I loved this or hated it. I have no clue. But at least I wasn't bored like the rest of
I couldn't even
I don't know how
react for the first bit of it because
Titus O'Neil had the best reaction, period.
I was so astonished by what was happening. And then they just went through all of these callbacks and retro moments and the old Blue Cage and the original Saturday Night's Main Event theme music and the intro. Guys, I can't believe it. If you would have told me this on paper, that all four of us would have watched something like this and all be sitting here with smiles right now.
Cena used the super bag quote I use on our podcast all the time. Saturday went from 6 to midnight.
After the segment ended, Brian Gewirtz, long-tenured WWE writer, wrote on Twitter, starting to think Vince maybe really did die in that limo explosion after all.
This was absolutely awesome, in my opinion. I loved it. I want to go watch it again right now. I am the biggest junkie for anything retro, and the fact that they went where they did with all the different incarnations of Cena and then back to the retro Bray Wyatt, and they reenacted the Mania 30 match and then going to Nitro and Puppet Vince with all that. I mean, guys, this is such good shit.
But here's my thing. That popped me and made me go, all right. But if that hadn't happened, I don't know if I would have loved this. And again, I still don't know if I loved it or if I hated it.
I'm going to say right now, I loved it. I loved it.
Here's my only warning.
I got to watch it again.
We saw how successful these two segments were, the Boneyard and this. That's great. They were successful. Don't overdo it. Don't make.
But I don't want them completely buried and never doing this again either.
I agree. Leave it open for when the time is right to do something like this.
Yeah. At least they got creative.
But
the most creative that they've been in forever.
Don't make every Bray Wyatt match like this.
No.
Don't make every Undertaker match like this. Don't
you have people calling for a Boneyard match next year for Sting and Taker at Mania, and I'm just like, stop, just stop.
Pick your spots. So that's all.
Would that be the worst thing?
Nope.
I wouldn't want it.
It'd be better than a regular match.
Exactly.
But at this point, I think we could all say, I just don't want it.
They're the two that really want it. That's the problem.
What the hell could even make those two go to a boneyard match? Come on.
Bro, I'm just telling you, Sting is hell-bent on getting that match to happen.
Which brings us to our.
It may happen in Saudi Arabia.
I'd rather get Sting versus Bray Wyatt and get all the incarnations of Sting in the Funhouse. How's that?
But Sting
Okay.
has to yell, before he throws him in a grave.
We get to our main event. Drew McIntyre defeats Brock Lesnar in 4 minutes and 28 seconds to win the WWE Championship. Drew seemed pretty overwhelmed by emotions winning there. It's a real shame that he didn't get to have that moment. And
Coolest part about it was looking into the camera and saying thank you.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And I'm super pumped. I love Drew. I always have. I'm really pumped for him to have this. I mean, here's the thing. Hold on, Frank, before you continue.
Go ahead.
If this match would have been in front of a crowd would have been hot. All the finishes, they would have been hot from start to finish.
are we bummed that both of the title matches were basically video game matches?
Yeah. Yeah. And this one
Doesn't surprise me.
because this one didn't have to be. We know Goldberg is limited and he sucks, as I went on a rant last night. If you want to go back and watch it, go back and watch. There's no reason for Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar to go out there and have the match that they did tonight. There's no reason for that.
WrestleMania 36 is brought to you by the number 4. It takes 4 power slams to beat Goldberg and 4 claymores to beat Brock Lesnar. 4.
I'm just thinking like
FOUR.
what it would have been, him doing the count with the fans, the 3, 2, 1, and everyone going crazy for it. I feel like that would have been a pretty cool moment.
I don't like that he kicked out of an F5 on a 1 count either, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. I didn't like that at all.
Really? Because the
cares?
F5 is totally
what?
after the Roman Reigns match. So,
Right.
Dude, I don't care. I don't care if it took 6 or 10 to take somebody else down. It's still Lesnar's finisher. Lesnar's supposed to be the most badass person in the company. I don't care if you're gonna. I don't care if you're gonna do 10 of them in the same match. I don't want anybody kicking out at 1. I think it's shit. I'm sorry.
they
I
killed,
just want Lesnar on
Really
TV.
starting to pay off.
they killed that one 2 years ago.
I don't care what you say about the 6 F5s at Mania 34. Has nothing to do with it. Throw 15 of them out there and have people kick out at 2. A 1 count on a finisher for Brock Lesnar is bullshit. That did not look good. I didn't like that.
And the F5 is not a vertical suplex, I promise you. You're saying just in comparison. I was saying taking an F5 is not comparable to taking a vertical suplex. So between the 2 nights, which night did you guys like more?
Wow. It's just there's bad and there's good from both.
I like that.
I didn't think there was enough good from tonight. I think we were both I think we were all happier last night, to be honest with you.
Even though maybe the best wrestling match happened tonight?
Yeah.
Charlotte and
Yeah. You got
What
to
was
do more
the
than
best
that.
thing from this whole Mania? Are we going to go with Charlotte versus Ripley, or are we going to go with the Boneyard match?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Tough.
I don't know. What was the best wrestling match?
No, I'm just going to go with what was the best match.
The thing I liked the most?
Considering the movie matches included. Like, what was your number one thing from the whole 2-day show?
I liked the Boneyard match.
Funhouse.
I'm going to say, I don't know which order I'm going to put them in yet, but the 2 movie matches were my top 2, and then the NXT Women's match was my 3rd.
That's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are going to be that way.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's all Vince needs to hear.
There were people who there was somebody on Twitter earlier who I respect and has a lot of great knowledge like we do. And he happens to love a lot of the same stuff I do. And this may be a ludicrous statement that I don't agree with, but he was listing his top 5 Mania matches ever. He put the Boneyard match number 5. Okay?
No.
But I'm just saying, hang on, I'm just going according to what JT just said. That statement was made. Whether it's right or wrong, that statement was made, which just goes to show you that, like John said, don't do this too much. Don't burn it out. But then again, you've got people going gaga over these 2 matches right now.
I see people giving KO and Seth some love. Hey, that was a great match, but I've seen them do better in Ring of Honor. So
Yep.
and that match was as much a brawl as it was an actual match.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I loved it. I mean, outside of like that was probably my favorite wrestling match on the show last night.
You see, Bischoff on Twitter said that he's the only person to ever go from being fired to the main event of WrestleMania. 6 months span. It's pretty incredible. Before we get to our final talking point here, I just want to remind you guys, Doug and I do the Living the Gimmick podcast that drops every single Tuesday. And we have our Patreon, patreon.com/Living the Gimmick, where we drop all this exclusive content. We have a huge chat board with so many great patrons and so many great members of the LTG family. And it really is a family. I encourage you guys, for as low as $5 a month, get in on that. It is a ton of fun. And you should go support our friend Devin Phillips' GoFundMe page, which we've posted from the Wrestle Reaction and the Living the Gimmick social media accounts.
Yes.
Devin is one of our patrons who's been going through a tough time lately, and we really encourage you to go check that out. And if you can help, donate, and if you can't help, pass it along. That's all we ask of you.
No stuff.
All right, so here we go. WrestleMania, 2 nights for the first time ever. Coming off the heels of New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom being a 2-night show this past year as well. Next year will not be a 2-night show as of now. My thought as of yesterday was that WrestleMania 38, wherever it may be, whether they bring it to Tampa or wherever they go with it, will be a 2-night show in some way, whether it's in a stadium, an arena, I don't know. Gentlemen, will WrestleMania be a 2-night format in the not so distant future, and did it work?
Are we sure that LA won't be a 2-night Mania?
Oh, we don't know that as of now, but
We only know one night's booked for now.
now it is 1 night in a stadium.
If it's me, it's happening in LA.
Could you sell out a 70,000 seat stadium 2 nights in a row?
That's my problem. That's my biggest problem with what we're talking about. And the old man will not go back to the small buildings to do it for 2 nights, okay? This is my problem with this. I don't think this is going to happen for that very
Depends. So here's the thing. Depends on the ticket prices. Because at this point, a 1-day WrestleMania is 8 or 9 hours or longer, right?
Sure.
Okay. So you cut it down in half and you do 2 nights. So you do 4 to 5 nights each night. Yeah, absolutely they could sell it out. I would much rather do a 2-day WrestleMania with 4 to 5 hours each night than a 1-day 10 or 11 hour Mania. Period.
The problem for me is that
You're saying like with the bundle price?
Yeah.
Like you get both nights for the $300 instead of
it won't be $300, but it'll be
do that because I mean, unless you guys know something I don't know, they're paying these stadiums for the night to rent the building, right? So they're going to have to do that times 2. That's a major cost. They have to charge for that. Here, you know the only way they could do it, and here's the problem, because now you make 1 night shitty and make it look smaller and the other night bigger. They do 1 night in the arena and the other night in the stadium. That's the only way you could actually do this.
It's never going to work though, because most major cities where the arenas are, aren't like LA and
but JT, they do it for everything else for the whole weekend. You have NXT in a smaller building. You have Hall of Fame in a smaller building. You have Raw and SmackDown the next 2 days in a smaller building. I mean, it's basically the same thing we're talking about already.
You're devaluing, though, if you're saying 1 night's an arena and 1 night's
right.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You can't do it that way. And to me, financially, that's the only way you can do it.
I think from a ticket standpoint, the only way you can make it work you would have to offer bundle pricing to make it appealing for people to buy 2 nights.
Yeah.
Where you say, hey, you can buy individual nights if you want, but you're going to get this special price to buy 2 nights, and that's your incentive to buy it.
But here's another thing. You've got to promote what effing matches are on what night.
Oh,
you're gonna get these numbers back for who bought the show on pay-per-view or on whatever stupid Fox streaming service, which I don't think is going to be more than 2,000 max, if that. But you're sitting there going, okay, who actually bought this? And the issue is, well, no one even knew what the hell was on the shows either night until they aired. So you can't, like, if you're going to sell 2 nights of WrestleMania in LA and you're not going to have any idea what's on the card when you're selling tickets, you're saying you can buy night 1 or night 2. Who's going to separate the tickets into buying night 1 or night 2, not knowing what's on those nights?
And that's what you have to do, because like they would put them on sale early,
and they've got to announce the card.
They won't.
Well, in that case too. Both nights
Listen,
have to be mega quality cards.
Right.
I sit first level off the field, and it costs about $300 to $325 a ticket every time I go. I don't understand how you could do a 2-night of that. Don't get it. I just don't think you can.
I think you can. And I think
they have to change the pricing, period.
Well, let's talk about this because we have the precedents with New Japan, and New Japan, they've got the Tokyo Dome, which is a baseball stadium, and we just saw WWE run Minute Maid Park with the baseball stadium. So it's not quite as big as a football stadium, but you still get the big show feel with them, right? I think we all agree with that. So Wrestle Kingdom, night one, let's see here. They did night one did 40,000 fans, and the second night did just about the same amount. And that is, more or less the equivalent of what WrestleMania is here in the United States.
How many times does that company run the Tokyo Dome a year? Is it just that event?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe you're not doing football stadiums, but guess what? If you did 2 nights of 40,000,
no, that's still a lot of people. Sure.
If you did 2 nights of 40,000 and you're charging those high ticket prices, you're going to make more money doing that than what you would run with 60,000 fans in a football stadium.
I just don't see how that's possible with ratings getting below 2 million people watching.
That's a valid point. That's a
scale programming, and I'm sorry, I don't think this is the time to do it. I mean, we're not talking about Austin and The Rock headlining Mania and making all of the money that we hear JR and Conrad talking about when they talk about like Mania 16, 17, 18. Like, we're nowhere near that with what's going on in the business right now. Like, it's just we love wrestling and we struggle to watch the WWE product. So I think it's a huge problem. I mean, I had a parent, talking about getting the network for her son on my Facebook today because he wanted to watch WrestleMania and see John Cena. And she goes, "Oh my God, everything this kid is into is so expensive." Well, I mean, just imagine being a parent with kids to pay for all this stuff. It's just, you're going to tell me they're going to take their kid for 2 days to see Mania? Like, it's not happening.
Expensive. It was free.
Well, you know what I mean.
Unless
she didn't.
Unless you're an idiot and buy it on the Fox Sports app or Fight TV.
Just mean
or
the show. She meant like
$70
in general for a child, T-shirts and merchandise and action figures and mommy, I want this and this and this, and she wants to kill him. So you know what I mean.
I see both sides of the argument. I think this is a 2-night event, some point within the next 2-3 years, permanently.
Yep.
And
I think it's going to happen.
They'll pick where they want to run it, and maybe it's not a football stadium, maybe it's a baseball stadium,
Chucky.
Maybe it's a soccer stadium. Who knows?
Mandy.
Shout out to my boy Sean White, who's been cracking up every time JT says Mandy.
So, Doug and I have lived in the Gimmick going every single week, and we got the Patreon as we talked about, but Frank, JT, what the hell's going on here? What's the dealio?
No comment.
No comment. Okay.
One thing is for sure is that nothing's for sure. No, in all transparency with everyone who has been tweeting us for the past 24 hours and really over the last year, I can talk for Frank and myself that one day we would love to start this back up. I think that's a no-brainer. With things going on in everybody's life right now, like for me, ain't gonna happen. Not right now.
First of all, we don't even know where wrestling is going right now with the state of affairs in the world right now. Let's be honest with that. So listen, we don't know. Okay, I'm not saying no. I'm not saying yes. That guy's about to become a father. Okay, and I already am. And I am also an assistant vice president of one of the biggest financial companies in the world right now. Let's be honest.
Never say never, pal.
But never say never. So we had a ton of fun doing this. We'd probably love to do more. And we'll see where it goes. We're here. I'm on Twitter. I always told everybody I would be. We're going to watch wrestling. We're going to comment on it. Sign up for the LTG Patreon because those guys are doing great work all the time.
Thank you.
And I am jealous sometimes when you guys always ask about who can join and doing these shows. I'm like, oh, I want to come on. I'm like, but I just can't. My schedule and everything. I want to do it. I
Let me
love
tell you something. The watch-alongs, and I'm not meaning to sound like pro here. The watch-alongs alone are worth signing up because it's Doug and I uncensored, unfiltered, and
That's what I want to do.
we've
I
watched
want to do a
really,
lot, watch along with
really
you guys.
crappy WCW stuff and WWE stuff.
That's why I want to do
the
it.
hardest stuff for me to join you guys for, though. To be honest, like to sit the whole time with that going on.
But it's like sitting with your boys, just watching something on TV, and it's a lot of
fun.
Well, if you want to hear Sophia get in on the action, I'll come on, and then you're gonna hear a lot of baby. I'll tell you that.
Beth runs in.
Yeah.
Beth
Yeah.
runs in.
Beth-
The dog run in.
Beth knows how to keep quiet when we need her to be, though. You know what I'm saying?
Beth runs in sometimes.
Yes, she does.
You guys have to understand this. This is the seed of Manzo we're talking about. This kid can talk.
I'm
okay?
the seat of Manzo.
No. No. This kid is.
You got
much
to teach
better
her the way I
looking.
taught Beth, Frank.
Huh?
You got to teach her the way I taught Beth.
Easy. That took a grim
She's
turn.
a talker. I'm gonna bring her on one day. But yeah, dude, this was a lot of fun. I started off saying this, and I'm gonna say it again. This was the most unique WrestleMania we will ever experience. I can't believe we watched 2 movie matches in the past 24 hours. I mean, what just went on? And I went back to watch the Boneyard match earlier today. My wife got to sit and watch it in its entirety. She missed a little of it last night, putting the baby to sleep, and he was like, "This is great."
Jason in the chat room asked Jason with a Y. What up, dude? JT, boy or girl? It is a boy. I am blessed to continue my name. The Pruitt name. It's growing.
Jonathan Pruitt. It's
Owen.
Oh, okay.
Yo, can we get Mania to Atlanta already so we can just crash JT's house? I've been just dying for this, okay?
Yeah.
I just I'm sorry to tell you, JT, but I want to come fucking crash your house.
The cat will hang out on the counter. The dogs will be all over you. It's fine.
Let's just get Mania in front of fans first before we care about getting it in front of whatever city. But this has been fun. Nate says Jonathan Nitro.
You got the goatee.
Jonathan Kabuki Warriors Experience Extravaganza. Pruitt.
Tasmanian Devil. What's happening? Taz shows up. What's that?
It's Taz.
Blah, 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 blah.
With one Z.
If anybody's announcing Taz, I instantly hear Joey Styles. No question.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, I mean, do we have anything else to add here, folks? I mean,
yeah, where the hell do we go from here? I mean, we've got the coronavirus. We've got a Mania that just happened over 2 days in front of no fans. We know basically that WWE has what taped and guaranteed to show this week, Raw and NXT. That's pretty much it.
And they aired a promo for SmackDown this week. And
they aired a promo for the next pay-per-view. Thank you, Doug. What is happening right now?
Yeah. So,
how do they expect that to actually happen?
Don't do it, JT. Don't do it. I know you're about to do it.
Mandy. I saw it pop up in the chat room. I couldn't help it.
I had this waiting.
No, man, it's fun. Look,
come give us some of this gravy.
Oh dear.
All right, boys. It's been fun.
It has been fun, and hopefully we'll get to do it again sometime, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, AEW has 6 weeks of taping.
Oh, great! That's going to be disastrous.
And then yeah,
some of the stuff they've done without the crowd has been good. Some of it is
that Jericho segment at his house last week was utter gold.
Release the hounds!
Release the hounds!
And some matches go out there and shit the bed, and then others are Trent versus Kenny Omega, which I thought was friggin' awesome. It
was dope.
Yeah. Not everybody can work in that environment. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, that's just it's.
Talked about it last night.
You know what? I want to do that quick. JT, you got 5 minutes because me and you have not talked AEW at all. What do you think about what they're doing so far? And in our absence, we got a whole new wrestling company. So what's your thoughts here?
Guess who watches more AEW than WWE?
Oh, I totally believe that.
This guy. All the way. I watch AEW and NXT, and that's really all I do during the week when it comes to wrestling. I will keep up with Raw and SmackDown and what's going on, but I'm not watching that at all. What they've
I
done
have the most trouble getting through NXT of any show. And I'm not the only person to say that, actually. I've run into a few people online that feel the same way, and I'm not saying it's bad, but just I am programmed to watch the main roster, Raw and SmackDown, and a lot of it sometimes is background noise, like I know a lot of you guys do. I'm playing with the baby. We have it on the TV. I'm watching what's happening, so at least I can keep caught up. I watch AEW sometimes a week behind, but I do get it in. But NXT, when I put it on, it's just got such a small feel to it, and I feel like a lot of the matches are just throwaway, let's get this guy some experience out there matches, and they don't connect the dots with the story for me. And I'm very big on story when it comes to wrestling. Like maybe you guys, are into a little bit more of the bell to bell because of your love for indies in Japan and stuff. And I love all that too, but I'm very into the emotion and the story more than anything. So for me, NXT really, out of all the shows that we're talking about, they lose that the most, and they kind of lose my attention.
I hear you. I get it because I see that side of it a lot. But I just watch NXT religiously. It's just something I do.
Yeah.
AEW.
But how many times do you seriously, the entrances start and you're like, who the hell is that? Like, I don't know these people.
Not often. Sometimes.
And a lot of times it's not very impressive after that.
Frank,
either.
did you know who Austin Theory was?
I had heard of him. I'd never seen him work. I did hear of him.
It's my boy. He's dope.
He's good.
He's great. Like you haven't seen him. Like he's really good.
Frank didn't watch the match that you posted in our chat there, John, of you in the match with Austin Theory.
I did not.
Obviously.
I got to know Austin Theory very well. He's great. They're all great. JT Chris says on Twitter that out of principle, you need to name your kid Ivar. So out of principle, I don't know, but how about this?
What about
you have your
Kabuki,
name,
baby?
you have your name for your kid, and then you just change it the next week.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Just shorten it to one. No last
Just
name.
to one. No last name.
No Pruitt.
It's just
we killed the Pruitt.
Like
Owen. It's just Owen.
I like it. No, I think I'm loving what AEW's doing. I got a chance to go to a show last year in Charlotte. Was that the Cody promo?
You went to the Bojangles and saw Cody's
promo.
Bojangles.
The Cody's promo where beer was $3. It was great.
Wow.
So I was.
Beer hasn't been $3 at a New York event since before I was born.
I love Bojangles Stadium.
I was good and drunk. I was there for the Cody promo, and I loved it. I love it.
Yes. Let's wrap up here, folks. Again, you can catch Doug and I every Tuesday on Living the Gimmick and on Patreon, patreon.com/Living the Gimmick. JT, what do you want to say to these fine people?
Mandy.
I love this. This is fun.
Now, Frank, you have to tee up our announcer friend at the end of this, but why don't you send the people home here?
Well, great 2-night show with all of you. I hope everybody out there enjoyed the Wrestle Reaction crew coming together in full. I hope to even have Joe Omega with us next time and maybe some others. Joe Omega. He was the guy before you, JT.
There was no one before me.
Fun show. Great to do this all with you again. Guys, seriously, Living the Gimmick LTG podcast does amazing work. Check them out. Listen to the show every week. Join the Patreon. They're doing a lot of fun stuff that I always get to follow along with in the chat when I'm constantly see my Facebook Messenger going off all day long, and I love it. And we're talking wrestling all the time. Love all of you out there. Just like Drew McIntyre got to only speak into the camera tonight because there was nobody else out there. Thank you so much for the welcome back that you gave me and JT this weekend. We got so many views and comments and everything already. It's been fantastic. This is not the last time you're going to see us, but it's a little hard to make plans right now with what's going on because we don't even know if there's going to be a SmackDown this week. So
there's not going to be.
Right. So we will get there. I want to send out the best wishes out there to you, your family, and anybody you know who may be affected by what's going on in the world today. Everybody stay safe. Please practice social distancing. This is not a joke. I know people who have passed from this. They weren't affected health-wise before. Everybody be careful out there. But in most of all, stay home, enjoy yourself, watch wrestling. Okay, shop sparingly. Just stay safe out there. We love all you. Really appreciate all the help and all the support over the years. We're not gone. We will be back. Douglas, take it away, brother.
Not me. Tony.
We're throwing this to the old Nitro announcer. He now commentates for AEW. We got a couple of words for you.
This has been the greatest night in the history of our sport, and if you weren't down with it,
Hulk Hogan, you can go to hell.
Mandy.
Straight to hell.